Hey there, model railroad fans. Welcome to Vintage Road and Rail, and welcome to my first retro review. I hope you enjoyed that intro. My daughter worked really hard on that. And basically, what I've got here in front of me is a promotional train set for Honda, made by Model Power. And what the point of a retro review is going to be is to look at something that is old and been out of production but has never been used. And in the case of this train set, it's a limited edition. Its number is 1045. I'm not sure how many of them were actually made. We may find out as we go through the video. But it's never been run. The shrink wrap is trying to come off of it, so the seller had put some of this saran wrap type stuff around it to kind of keep the shrink wrap on. But I believe it's probably all just going to fall apart once I start taking it off. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and wrestle with this shrink wrap and stuff and get that all off, and go ahead and just break the plastic and get it off. But then I'll set the camera back up and then lift the box up to reveal the insides. And then we'll take a quick look at everything on there, and what's more appropriate than looking at a old vintage train set and then running it on an old vintage layout. So give me just a moment to get this all unboxed. So I was actually able to find a pair of scissors here at the club. So that made getting that shrink wrap off easy, and as a result I was able to leave the, well, I guess saran wrap is what I pulled off, but the actual shrink wrap was able to be left on. And the seller wasn't kidding when he said that it was hanging on by a thread. You can see that it's tore here, and it's just barely hanging on the corners. But I know a lot of people like to actually see something old that's never been opened still in shrink wrap. They love to see having that shrink wrap taken off. So, why not? So let's go ahead and let's start tearing this off, shall we? There's probably a few people getting great satisfaction out of that, but somewhere someone's probably cringing. See, it just completely fell off of the bottom there. Alright, let's come around to this side. And there it goes. Not sure how much of this you're seeing, but got that right here. So now you can see it a little bit better, the box and everything. So this is a promotional train set. It's a collector's train set, limited edition, and this is Honda. I really don't know much about this set, and I really couldn't find a lot on the internet. So if anybody has any details about this that we may not figure out as we're going through, by all means, please let me know in the comments. I would love to have more detail on this. So let's lift this up and see what is inside. So we got some paperwork tucked out here. If I can get to it, a hold of it. Alright, so this is Model Power train set, and we've got our easy assembly and operating instructions. So nothing real surprising here, just how to set up your train set and some basic troubleshooting steps if something doesn't work properly. So let's lay that to the side, and this whole thing just come out. So under here we've got our track, and over here we've got our power supply, and we've got the remnants of a rubber band. I don't know if you can see that there. It's completely fell apart. And got your typical Model power brick sitting right here. So let's go ahead and set this back in place, or at least attempt to. Alright, so let's start with the caboose, shall we? Let me reposition this, and let me lower it a bit. No need to have this high level. Alright, so here's our caboose. So it has plastic wheels and knuckle couplers. So this has been around for a while. And this is going to represent the Honda Civic. So we'll set that there. And then over here, we've got a flat car with 2 containers. This will represent the CRV and the Prelude. When these were out, I wanted one of those so bad. Alright, and up here we've got a box car. Let's see if I can get that out. And this one, Honda Genuine Parts. And the door does open. And all of these have knuckle couplers and plastic wheels. Our brake wheel is molded in. I don't know if you can see that, it's a little bit dark. We're going to skip over this one for just a moment. And we got a tank car. Again, plastic wheels, knuckle couplers. S2000 and Insight. Alright, now let's try this flat card with the trailer on it. Let's see if I can get it out in one piece. Come on. Ah, you rat. Alright, so here's the flat car. Pretty much identical to the other one, except it has this to keep the trailer contained. And this one represents the Honda Accord. Really nice there. And then finally, let's get to the last piece, which is our locomotive. And I believe this is going to be an F3. Typically, that's what you get with these train sets from Model Power. Just trying to see if it has anything. No, it just says Model Power there on the fuel tank. Alright, but here it is, and this just represents flat out Honda. I really like the black and red with this kind of grayish stripe right in there. Everything looks good on it. All the detail obviously is molded in. But this will be all-wheel drive and all-wheel pickup, which is really nice. That's one nice thing about Model Power. So yeah, so everything looks good. Alright, so I think the only thing left to do is move this box top out of the way, get this set up on the layout, and give it a test run. Now, since this has been in the box for Lord knows how long, I have with me from my previous video the Chicago Northwestern F7 unit. If this doesn't want to work, we can still pull the cars using that F7. But from past experience with Model Power, I'm pretty confident this won't give us any trouble. Before we set the full train setup on the layout, I figured we would cut in for just a moment and see if this will run out of the box. I just set it on here. I have not tested it. But I figured, like any new locomotive, it's best to break it in before really using it. And especially with one that's probably been in a box for, what, 25, maybe 30 years, who knows how long. So let's go ahead, and I've got the power on, put it in forward, and let's see if it works. Yes, it does. Working just fine. Headlight works. I need to check that switch over there. It derailed everything. So I'll need to see what I hung up on that. But anyway, it does work. So I'm going to sort that switch issue out. Let this break in probably about at least 15 minutes each way. Then we'll get everything up on the track and give it a test out. I've let it break in just a little bit. And now I've got the entire train set on the layout here. So here we have our F3 locomotive, our tank car, our, I guess you want to call that a piggyback, I'm not sure because it just has one trailer, our box car, our container car, and our caboose. So let's go ahead and let it run a few laps. That's about as slow as, well, no. I really think it could use a good cleaning and lubrication, and it would run better. It's running pretty good, but I think it could run better. And it was that front coupler that was tripping up on that switch right there. The switch here. And we derailed. Let's try this again. Alright, made it through that time. I'm going to let it make a couple laps, and then we'll wrap up the video. Definitely needs a little lubrication. Alright, Model Railroad fans, that's a look at this Honda Promotional train set by Model Power, limited edition. I never did see how many were made. I'm going to go with the assumption, based on past limited edition sets, that it would have been 7,500, but don't quote that as gospel. But like I said early on in the video, if anybody knows more about this particular train set, please let me know down in the comments. I don't know, is that something that was sold to Honda employees, giveaway at maybe dealerships? Who knows? So, whew. And I'm going to let this run another lap or two, then we're going to stop before I ruin something. Well, alright, Model Railroad fans, that's going to wrap up this video. If you enjoyed taking a look at this promotional set, make sure and hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That way you'll know when more videos come up. Well, until next video, happy model railroading. Take care.